We heard the audio quality was actually going okay, despite it being a real bad thing last time. I am seeing that they're dropping frames and it's all a mess, but we're going to just keep going. The video recording that'll be on YouTube will have everything if you feel the need to relive the magic moments. But we're going to press on through. It's apparently something to do with the internet here because Ben and I are both experiencing it. So
this magic moment.
With your lips so close to mine.
It's times like this that I really wish that I knew the song.
That's right, the Buttress. This is Core. Welcome. Hello.
No. Shut up.
Nope. Oh, I'm totally out if I got to talk about Heroes. I'll see you guys later.
All right. So let's actually get an actual show started, considering we're technical issues abound.
Yeah, it's all technical issues. It's all bad.
So Cuddles, did you want to do an intro like last time? Do you want me to jump in and handle it? What you want to do, buddy?
I can do something. I can do something.
Cool.
Then what did I do last time? I don't remember doing something last time.
Probably something along the lines of, "Hi, this is Cuddles from the Game Case, and you're listening to Azeroth Roundtable." Just a guess.
I think I can do that. Hey everybody, this is Cuddles from the Game Case, and you're listening to Azeroth Roundtable.
We're off to a good start, John.
We did it. No, we're not off to a good start. We're not off to a good start at all.
Shh, quiet.
Yeah, okay, true. The podcasting people don't need to know that we're off to a bad start.
No, shh. Welcome to Azeroth Roundtable, episode 227. My name is Ben Bumhofer, where no technical issues are happening whatsoever. And with me, as always, is the no technical issues happening whatsoever, John. How's it going, John?
Hello, Ben. It's Friday night here in Azeroth, and we are here at the round table. We're going to take a seat. We're going to talk about World of Warcraft, I think. And it's going to be fun, but we're not alone this week, Ben. We are being joined by returning guest, Cuddles. Welcome to the round table.
Oh, thank you so much for having me back, guys. It's an absolute honor to be here.
Well, we're actually very happy to have you back. It's an honor that you're joining us. So it's just honorific all around.
They don't remember my last appearance, evidently.
Oh.
It's okay.
John, was there a clerical oversight that we need to take care of?
No.
Okay. I trust you then. Okay. Anyways, welcome back, Cuddles. How's it going?
It's going really good. It's going really good. It's been an absolute wonderful and incredible week. Life is good. Streaming is good. Video games are awesome. It's things are good.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm very happy to hear that. So you want to talk about things that are good? Not really the best segue, but I'm going with it anyway. So I've actually been, taking time away from work here and there where I can, and working on alts. So here's the thing. When people say that invasions are a good way to level your alts, I really recommend it because you can get about a level per invasion. So that being said, I think I might have mentioned it before. I've been working on, my paladin. My paladin's 110. She's actually, semi-decently geared and everything like that. But then I came to the whole stopping point of I really want to get my class mount. So I went through, did all the stuff that I needed to do that and everything. So I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to do this. I turned in the second kill 100 demons mission that you have. And I'm like, this is great. I just killed spiders again. And it took me like 10 minutes, if that. I'm like, woohoo. I go back to Khadgar. I'm like, yeah, give me my quest for my horse. And then all of a sudden, I forgot that I need to do an invasion, which makes me really sad because I've been doing them on my warrior, which I've actually been leveling up. So now I actually have to find a time when there's an invasion happening and go in and do that.
I had no idea that it was that effective of a way to level up tunes. Like, I've got a couple alts that I've been, just kind of sitting on because even though it hasn't been that long, I'm still at the point where I'm like, oh, all these storylines are awfully familiar to me. I'm not sure I'm really ready to dive into it. And so Yeah, I have been kind of avoiding them, but if there's a quick way to level up, I would not argue with that. I don't need to re-experience the whole leveling process on each and every one of them, but I would like to get them up there.
Oh yeah, I really recommend it. And Cuddles, have you been playing around with alts at all?
I actually have, due to the I've been wanting to get into invasions. I'm glad to hear. Like, I've heard rumors that it is this easy, but I actually started a brand new tune. Thanks to the urging of Fist, I now have a female Belf on Blade Fist, and I'm playing Horde on a PvP server for the first time.
Nice.
Interesting.
I also see you're repping red and black on your t-shirt. You're all in on the Horde.
I even. We're not. Gummit, since the video's not working, but you guys can see it.
I can switch
Oh
to the
my
video
gosh.
very briefly. There we go.
Oh.
Yeah.
I literally am overrun with Horde stickers right now.
This is
So if
great.
someone sees me in the next, I don't know, 3 to 8 years, I have a stack about 6 inches high of Horde stickers.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, congratulations for, seeing the other side of things.
Yeah, there's a lot of spikes. I'm feeling really uncomfortable. Like, everything's I don't know where to sit. I feel like I want to lean against things, and
Oh
there's
yeah,
just
you need to
there's
be really
spikes
careful
everywhere.
about that.
Yeah.
If you lean too hard, it could mean a res is needed, or just a little run from the spirit healer. So yeah, definitely watch out for those. But how
Tetanus
far are you
shots.
You'll need
with your
blood
tetanus
elf?
shots.
Yeah.
We're at level 10 now, so very
Cool.
beginning stages. But I actually like really loving it, because that's something I was a WoD baby, and I've never played through the Horde at all. So this is entirely new to me. I'm kind of getting to play WoW again for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm already comfortable with it and like kind of know how to play. But yeah, it's been really cool.
Now, are you going through and actually doing the full reading the quest text, getting the lore, or are you just, seeing the zones and kind of going through it at your own pace?
That stuff's there to read.
Yeah.
That's a lot of read. I'm not playing video games because I want to read.
Oh.
Like what? Although
it's baby steps, I guess.
I actually have been reading, probably not as much as I could, but a little bit more than I used to. I'm trying to appreciate, like, if I'm going to go through this on a totally different server with a brand new tune that I have no idea how to play, I want to get something out of it. So I am spending a little bit more time with the questing.
Okay. So, a question for you, since this is your first time on the Horde, and I'm assuming definitely first time on a Blood Elf, is it kind of jarring to have an intro video with them saying about how you fought hard and you have the Sunwell and how it's this great thing, and then your first quest is, oh my God, we don't have the Sunwell?
The entirety of the whole experience has been jarring, and we just seeing different races that I'm not used to. Like, everything is just, I'm like, what is that weird? Oh, well, that's a troll. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, they're buddies. It's fine.
What's he doing here? I should be killing him. Because I'm also, the other part of it is I've never rolled on a PvP server. So every time I walk anywhere and see anyone, I am immediately frozen and have no idea what's going on, and I'm terrified. So, it's been quite the experience.
In a sense, that actually gives you an advantage, though, because you're so familiar with the Alliance races. So as soon as you see one, you're like, oh, it's Alliance. Oh, I need to kill them now. So, yeah, totally makes sense.
It's very difficult to kill my own. I've been Alliance for so long.
You get used to it.
It's very hard.
I mean, it's just good that you're now playing the good guys.
Oh.
Oh, we're not getting into this again.
It's nice to be on the dark side for once.
Yeah, I will say though, like once you go through and do a whole lot more, especially when you come to zones that have the actual Alliance versus Horde conflict and everything, and kind of seeing the story on that sense, you really get so much more of a look into the other faction. I've been able to go through and I'd leveled up a panda through Alliance and everything, and it was interesting. I saw definitely a side of things. I really ended up liking the dwarves a lot more than I thought I would. So it's just one of those things where I'm like, okay, I think I can do this. We're good. We're going at it. And so yeah. And I mean, if I had to go through and play a faction or a race that wasn't the Pandaren, because I don't know why, I just like how fluffy and cute they are. So I'm kind of tending to just choose them all the time now. But if there was an Alliance race I had to choose, I would probably be a dwarf because they're pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
Dwarves are all right. Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
It's fine. I do think Cataclysm has kind of ruined that strong stance you used to get to take with the Horde are the good guys, because now you have to put up with, the story of Gary the Rosh Hellscream and all his business for our plot, so it's a little harder to stand on that moral high ground. But traditionally, WoW's done a pretty good job of letting both sides be heroic. Although I still, we've talked about it before, I have my nits to pick on the human experience and some of the things they ask me to do, and me questioning just how heroic I was actually being. But we already talked about that. I always think of that poor pig and that poor man I murdered for killing that pig when I know damn well it was me what killed the pig.
Well, John, everybody's a hero in their own way.
Yeah, sometimes you bring a kid a balloon. Sometimes you kill a prize pig and then murder a man who was accused of murdering the prize pig.
And sometimes you collect Zephyr hooves. And, one Zephyr should have 4 of them, but apparently not.
Well, everybody's collecting zebra hooves. Some people are lazy. I like to think of it as lazy people. They didn't kill the zebra, they just took the hoof. So there's a bunch of one-hoofed zebras running around in the barrens.
Oh, that's horrible.
And it makes you feel okay with killing them because it's like a mercy kill at that point, because they're just stomping around screaming.
So the ones that don't have any hooves are actually just kind of out there. No wonder they're easy to kill, because they can't run away.
They're just going, ah, with every step.
Like the goats that scream like humans?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, sorry, just really quick aside. Did I ever tell you guys my theory on the whole goats sounding like humans?
No.
I have to hear this.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're both familiar with them, right? Mm-hmm. Like the ones that are like, ah! Or that go like, hey!
Yeah.
Hey! Yeah. Well, my whole idea is that they actually used to be people, but were turned into goats by witches.
Okay.
And they're just trying to get people's attention to try to get help.
Ben, I thought you were going to give us a theory, not just explain facts to us.
Oh, yeah, good point, I guess. Yeah. Okay. And anybody who has no idea what I'm talking about, just do a quick YouTube search for goats sound like humans. Trust me. Yeah. But, okay, so going back to the questing and the zebra hooves, whatever, Zephyr, zebra. I say different things many times throughout the entire day in different ways. So something that I actually really liked when they, made changes through Cataclysm and everything like that, and redid a lot of the questing experiences, is all those fetch quests that are still there, but they changed the item you're looking for to like pristine or perfect or something like that. So it gives you a reason to go through and like slaughter 100 different pigs, looking for boar tusks or something, but you want the long ones or the big ones or something like that. Just the little things.
I mean, yeah. There's a part of me that's still like, okay, well, why can't you say instead of 20, we want 100, and you'll collect 4 from everyone you kill?
Okay, there's actually that way of doing it too.
Here's another idea. What if we stop doing that as a quest?
Yeah. That's probably a good idea.
I feel like this would be great as like an interviewing technique or a way to like put people in new jobs. Like, listen, John, I know that you're really interested in this position. I see that you're fully qualified. We checked out your references, but what I'm going to need you to do is go outside and kill 15 mockingbirds. I need 5 pristine mockingbird wings, and then then we can talk vacation time.
Yeah, there's no truth in this fantasy, is what I'm discovering.
Well,
I just okay, but it's one of those things that I think about because, I mean, at the end of the day, there's only so many things you can have players do in the game, and how do you dress it up, right? Like, at the end of the day, and I feel like there's 2 methods. There's the WoW method, which is just like, okay, we had to write a bunch of text about it, so we did. So here's a bunch of text that's justifying, but at the end of the day, you know it, I know it. Just go kill a bunch of zebras, okay? Like, it's just what we want you to do, and the reason is because. Like, that's it. And then there's the Star Wars The Old Republic method, which is, here's an amazing cutscene where you're doing something super cool, and this guy's like, oh, my lord, I didn't know you were coming by today. And then you force choke him, and you're like, I don't have tolerance for your incompetence. And he's like, I'm sorry, my lord. I'm sorry. They messed up out there. They've ruined everything. There's nobody available. I need you to go collect zebra hooves. And, like, so you're still out there killing zebras. Probably not in Old Republic, but for the sake of this, we'll say yes. But
well,
you had a really cool
cutscene.
You had a really cool cutscene leading up to it. So it was like they dressed it up like super nice for you. I don't know which of those I like better. I think I like it with a cool story so that I can at least look forward to the conclusion of the cool story when I come back, rather than coming back and the guy just being like, yep, those are zebra hooves.
Thanks.
Here's your item and experience. Now please move on to the next quest giver.
But, John, if you had read that quest text, you would have known that those zebras actually are a pack of I don't know, raging zebras, and they killed that person's son, so he wants revenge, and for proof of the revenge, he wants those hooves.
You remember Mankirk's wife?
Zebras.
Well, no. She was killed by the bristle boars, but her body was hidden by the zebras.
Oh my gosh. See, I'm okay with going and like kill X random thing for X random thing. What I dislike and what totally breaks down the fourth wall for me is then they remember that there was something else in the exact same spot that they also like. It's the video game equivalent of you being, honey, do we need something from the store? Yes, some milk. And then you get home and and also some sugar. And we need waffles. Like you would strangle someone. Like you have a sword. This person is incapable of doing whatever task, menial, meaningless task that they have asked you to do. Why have you? No, that bothers me.
Yeah. Well, I think the perfect example of that is so you might get there in your questing with the Horde side. We'll see. But I think it was Vanilla Barons though, where you had to go to this place where there were some quill boars, and you had to kill 2 of a certain type. So you kill them and everything because you're helping this guy get revenge or whatever. She's like, okay, cool. I killed 5 of these and 8 of those, and I have their weapons or whatever. So then you run back. It's like, great, you took care of them. Now go kill the other 2 that were there that you were constantly fighting the entire time because they would pull in when you're attacking one of them. And yeah, so I mean, very much the same thing, but it's like, couldn't you just told me to go wipe out the entire tribe or something? It works a little bit better to my favor that way. I can go in there and not have to totally skip killing these things because it's just a waste of time at this point. And yeah, I'm right there with you on that. But, so that actually, that brings up a question to mind because, there are, what would you say, like maybe 5 or 6 different types of quests in World of Warcraft, maybe more. I'm not looking for the exact number, but I'm wondering. Okay, so what is actually your least favorite, and then what's your favorite?
Mm. So I think I very much dislike the go to A. Like we've covered this. You're at A, go to B, come back to A, go back to B, come back to A, go back to B.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I I always loved any quest that actually makes me go somewhere that I haven't been, meet somebody new, and let them give me like the last quest in a zone where it's like, oh, hey, thank you for all the cool things that you've done. Why don't you go see that guy over there? The ones that you miss when you have heirlooms and you have no idea where you're going and you're halfway through the quest chain in a zone and you don't know where to go and then you have to ask people and then they make fun of you. But I always love those. I always love the like, here, proceed on to the next level.
That's good. It's definitely very helpful, especially. I mean, you weren't around in the vanilla and Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich
Mm-mm.
King days when it really was. Oh crap! Where do I go now? And I mean, that was a big problem with leveling in, back when I was playing in Burning Crusade. In fact, I had to have John tell me like where to go because, now it's really nice and handy where you can mouse over like, a map and it tells you what at least the level range is and everything like that. That wasn't there all the time. But even more so, they have intro quests to every zone that get you started on a path. Whereas before it's like, I think it was John, I want to call it Winterfell, but I know that it cannot be the name of the zone. It's the one that's up by Moonglade. Winter Spring. Thanks for the help on that.
Yep, really. I'm busy having debates in the chat room.
I know it is. But no, so Winter Spring, like I went up there and I'm like, cool, this is really neat. Where do I go? And I'm like, oh, okay, well, here's a town, and then you kind of branch out from there and everything. And I think that was a lot of like definitely old school quest design because back when that was actually written and created and everything, there wasn't a whole lot of questing involved in MMOs. So they're just like, okay, well, obviously this is going to be a little town. There's going to be a hub. There's going to be people there. Let's go ahead and, have a quest, quest there. Whereas now, you have your like, war chief's board or your commander's board or whatever, that it'll get you to a zone that's level specific for you and totally lead you down the path of, well, and now the story of the entire zone, which they didn't technically have those all the time before either. So it's something that's kind of handy.
So what you're saying is us entitled millennial WoW players should get off your lawn? Like, is that what I just
I'm
heard?
not saying at all. No, it's just one of those like, no, I'm agreeing with you that I really appreciate those kinds of quests because, I mean, they haven't always been around. So it's been a big, huge boon to, I think, the game in general when that's happened. So yeah, John, do you have any sort of like favorite type of quests and also a least favorite type?
My favorite type of quest is when I get called out in the chat and I end up being right.
Wow, good job, man.
I know it's the little things, right? No, I just sorry. I apologize. I got distracted. I was very certain that Mankirk's wife was killed by bristleboars. I said it. The chat room corrected me. It was a case. It's one of those cases where I'm wrong about a lot of things. A lot of things.
I'm capturing that. Hold on.
Hi, I'm John Jagger, and I'm wrong about a lot of things. But this was one of the rare cases where I was totally certain, because I was 100% certain that he then later shows up to wage war against the bristleboars. And, like, he's going ballistic and wants you to kill a bunch of them. So I was very, very certain of it. And I had to look it up. I had to derail the show a little bit, and now I'm further derailing it. So here is an Azeroth Roundtable exclusive. Confirmed. We looked it up. I feel like we should have We Looked It Up music. Mankirk's wife was killed by WoW game developers. That's where we landed. No, bristleboars. But I did like that comment in the chat room, too.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yeah. We looked it up.
There you
go. Okay. Anyway, Ben, what was your real question?
Well, the real question that I had is we were talking about different types of questing and How there's like maybe 5, 6, 7 different types of quests in the game and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Just wondering where you land in, what is your least favorite type of quest and what's your favorite type of quest. Cuddles' least favorite is the go to A, then to B, then back to A, then back to B, then back to A, then back to B.
Right.
And he enjoys the finisher quests that push you along to the next one, like to the next hub or the next zone or whatever.
Yeah, I like the quests that have story tied to them. I mean, I like to feel like I'm doing important things in the game, and they're going to come up with the best reason in the world why I have to go dig through poop. But at the end of the day, like, it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be quite epic enough. Like, the stories I'm going to care about are, you know, as much as I don't like Warlords of Draenor, like, that whole intro, like, here's what you did to help your survivors get through the Dark Portal. Like, that whole opening quest in Tanan Jungle is amazing because everything you do feels important in that. There's some that are a little, like, and while you're there kind of things, but
pick those berries because
yeah.
we need food.
Yeah. I understand you're going to go try to rescue people. Could you also kill a bunch of orcs? Why? I don't know. But it all feels like it's in service to this big story. And so I kind of don't care what they're asking me to do as long as I feel like it's working towards something epic and something cool. If I had to pick a quest type I hate, though, it is quests where I just sit there and I get pulled out of the game and I think, what Blizzard developer did this to us? Fatty goat steaks comes to mind. Doing that daily and just like, why did they do this to us? Why would they do this to us? Did they not think
like, you're up
anybody
really
would do
high,
this?
And then these things have an attack that push you off of this mountain, and it's a really small area, so you're probably going to be pushed off the mountain and die. And meanwhile, there's only 4 spawns, and everybody's doing this quest today. So
yeah,
fatty goat steak. I forgot about fatty goat steak.
Rumor has it in Legion, like, hey, you're going along, like, it's a perfect example because it is one of those, here's a really good cool storyline that you're going through. This is fun, this is great. Oh, by the way, now suddenly you need a group. Like,
yeah,
but I was doing everything leading up to this by myself. Yeah, well, now just because you need a group.
Yeah. They've actually gone away from a lot of that, though, with some of the recent expansions and everything, which I'm really glad about because I was in the same boat. Going back through, gosh, so many different expansions. It's like, okay, cool, and there's this epic thing, and it's great. I think the last time I really remember it being like super prevalent was probably Dragon Blight and Lich King, because you have like a couple of those quests. That have separate quest lines, then all of a sudden the end of it is, oh, now you have to go kill this big giant centaur-y thing. Good luck.
Yeah.
It's like, no. And that's where the reward that I really want is, because that's a huge upgrade for my shoulders or something, and yeah, you could show up and try to take it on, maybe it might work. But yeah.
I do want to I think it's an interesting thing to talk about spinning off of this, and I don't want to put him necessarily on blast, but chat room said, opening quest to Tanan Jungle wasn't awesome the 5th, 8th, or 10th time. I see your point. Like, okay, I've seen this before, but at the same time, if that was just generic dude being like, go gather roots for me, is that better the 5th, 8th, or 10th time? Like, at a certain point, you're making the decision to play this a bajillion times, and that's kind of on you. Like, I don't want to play a game where Blizzard's afraid to make their story interesting because what if somebody plays it 10 times and thinks it's boring on the 10th? Like, okay, like, that's their decision. I would like the content to be interesting at least one time, is how I stand. So I get a little aggressive on that because I understand people's dislike for, like, too many cutscenes and stuff like that, and there certainly are zones that run into that. What is it from Kata? Is it Oldham? That's just like
Yeah,
non-stop
the whole
cutscenes.
intro.
Uh,
But yeah, the whole intro took forever just to get out of, and then yeah, there's cutscenes everywhere when you're working with Harrison Jones.
and so yes, I get it. Like, because I was sick of those by the second time that I got there, right? Not even the 10th. So I do understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, like, I just would rather be in a world where the quests have story and interest behind them rather than, well, we know you're going to have to do this a billion times, so we just made it shitty and generic.
Yeah, I can see that. But I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but was there a way to skip that intro?
I don't
Like at some point?
think there is. Like, you can skip the
In
cutscenes in Oldham, but I don't know if you can skip Tanan Jungles.
Yes, there was. There was a way that you could do something and go around, and you ended up on an island somewhere. Like there was a way to
Oh,
get around it,
yeah, there's a
and
way
so you
to
didn't have
get
to do all of it.
That's right. Yeah, because John, remember there's the secret teleport to Draenor that's on the Timeless Isle.
Right.
So yeah, there's a way around it.
Oh,
But I thought that there was actually a skip this thing I've done it a zillion times. Kind of like how, like if you go back to Culling of Stratham right now, you can tell Chromie, I know what happened, you know what happened. Let's skip to the good part or
right.
something like that.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and I think they should put in things like that. I think the problem with the reason that I don't think they ever really wanted to do that with the Tanan Jungle is because it awarded gear and experience. Like, that was literally a chunk of your experience and all of that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Like, I liked leveling through that intro of Tanan Jungle more than I liked any of the other zones. So, I mean, I would have done that intro 5 times in a row
Yeah.
if it meant skipping Frostfire, whatever. So I'm kind of okay with it existing because I thought it was way better. But I mean, everybody's gonna have things that they take to a little bit more, a little bit less. I just, you know, I prefer I prefer they find a way to make it interesting, and I do like if they have ways to skip the cutscenes or at least speed some of it up. But I prefer to have my experience feel epic rather than go pick up beetles for me.
So something that I have to say about the intro to Warlords, which we're going to call it that as opposed to intro to Tanan because there's two different times we went to Tanan the first time. But I don't even know why I'm doing that. But anyways, so remember the part where you had to like blow something up, but you carry the keg around and the gunpowder falls behind you and you leave a trail?
Yeah, and you could draw
Yes.
whatever you wanted.
Every single time after the first time, after I saw that, I started writing stuff and drawing things, and I had way fun with it.
Uh-huh.
Like a ton of fun. I wrote for the Horde a couple times, drew some things I won't talk about because I'm 12 years old. You know, just oh, it's great.
There's a Legion daily where you get to use that stuff again, and I do the
Wait, what?
I do the same thing because you go down in this little cave and you've got the gunpowder trailing behind you, and because I can stealth so I don't have to fight everything down there, I walk in a circle around each and every bad guy down there, and you don't see it. It's not like they cut to the inside of the cave to show you. Just in my own little head cannon, I know that when this thing lit, it made a little ring of fire around every enemy in the place, and it makes me feel very happy.
That okay, so drawing and lighting fire tech is something that we need more of in this game because that was fun.
That's a lot of fun.
And yeah, no one else will ever see for the Horde, Alani was here, something along those lines. I don't care. I saw it and it was glorious.
Yeah. I know it was true.
It's all about the personal experience.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and so that's one of the things that I actually really enjoy is phased content. So not so much that like if I'm standing outside Ice Crown Citadel and want to summon John, but the person who's in my party standing next to me is in a different phase and we can't even see each other. That doesn't work as well. But the good news is that they've actually changed a lot of that stuff, so that the phasing is essentially like, yeah, well, it just works. Like John and I can actually be standing next to each other, see different things, but we can still see each other, which is good. So, anyways, some of that phasing stuff is really cool, and how you're able to go through and you do this big huge quest thing or whatever, and then all of a sudden, like, South Shore's gone. I don't exactly remember if there was any phasing in that whole instance, but the point is that, like, stuff is actually changing as you're going through and questing. In fact, Cuddles, when you're leveling, we both highly recommend that you leave Ghostlands and go over to Tirisfal Glades instead. Or
Okay.
is it the Sepulture or whatever? Just basically do
Silverpine Forest.
Yeah, Silverpine Forest. Go do the undead stuff, because that is some fantastic storytelling. You're actually going to get the Horde side of the battle between Gilneas and the undead.
Ooh.
And I mean, it's just a lot of really cool, fun stuff, but again, just overarching, just awesome storytelling.
Yeah, one of those. It was when they were in a Sylvanas is a villain stage.
Mm-hmm.
Back when they couldn't decide what they were going to do with characters. So
like Legion.
Wait, are you calling her a villain in Legion?
I'm just saying.
You're crazy.
She abandoned her alliance allies. I mean,
we're not doing that again.
She saved the Horde. No, so I've been thinking about Garrosh a lot. For reasons that are probably obvious to people who know me. I've been thinking a lot about the old orc boy, and it's
old Orky, as we call him.
Yep, Orca. We kept him in a tank.
He's just walking around going,
and it is one of the things that bugs me more than anything else in this game, is that it is so clear that they had no idea what they wanted to do with certain characters during certain expansions. Because Garrosh goes from mopey to wanting to be heroic to being kind of a dick, but also kind of heroic at the same time. Like, he's going to just be a rough, gruff orc and, like, rough around the edges, but still kind of a good guy. To then being a dick again. To then, okay, you could tell they really wanted to do some redemptive story with him. Because there's a story in Stone Talon Mountains where he gets mad and he ends up killing one of his own people for dropping a bomb on people. And he actually goes to kill the player character too, because he thinks you're complicit in it. And he's like, I'm gonna kill you too. And this guy saves you, and there's this whole story about him learning, like, mercy and the importance of mercy and all of that. And it's an entire arc dedicated to him being like, hey, mercy is important to know. And then he literally goes and drops a bomb on Theramore right after and goes full villain after that.
Well, he could have just been talking about the character from Overwatch.
Yeah, he was like, I'm really...
She'll heal you. She's really good like that.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's... It's one of those weird things. It made me for a while just be like, all right, I just need to look at World of Warcraft's story in the same light that I look at as wrestling. Like, they are now the same thing.
Well, Grosh is one of the best heals that we've ever had.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
A lot of people don't like Garrosh.
Yeah. I mean, but see, that's the thing that I really like about him, is that everybody hates him. No, that he was created for Burning Crusade. He has a really good arc through World of Warcraft, and he wasn't just corrupted. He's just a dick. And I mean, it adds so much to his character that they were able to keep him there. And, like, you kind of saw what was going on, with the whole, like, mopiness about his dad and everything. And then, Thrall, being the fallible character that he is, totally, like, destroys that image and then puts this brand new image of his father in his head that is like, way too good and way too pristine, and just screws over the Horde because of that. And seeing the growth into this guy who's trying to live up to his father, but like getting the entire thing wrong and not understanding the lesson is, it's great writing for him. And I mean, I love him so much because of that, but I hate him. But I love him because he was so great. It's like, John, you and I have talked about, Kylo Ren versus Darth Vader. And I'm not saying Darth Vader's bad, but I'm saying Kylo Ren is an entirely different character who, if you think about it, might have kind of the same sort of arc as Garrosh going on, where he has this overblown idea of what he should be and is just screwing everything up and, destroying everything along the way.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I've heard a lot of people say recently, he's the orc you love to hate. And it's just not true. I don't like that I don't like him. Like, I genuinely just do not like this character. But I recognize that he's a fantastic character. Because somebody created a fictional character that you literally show me his stupid orc face and I get angry about. And I'm just like, oh, I hate him so much. Like, they managed to do it. They managed to make me very angry about a fictional character. And the funny thing is, I bleed red and black. I'm all about the Horde. Like, I should be much more okay with Garrosh than somebody that's like an Alliance player or something like that. And I still hate him this much. Like, he's the worst. He's just the worst.
No, is there somebody that they've written that well on the Alliance side that you just absolutely love them?
Somebody that I love. Okay, well, here's a good example. Varian Rin, I also shared. Like, he and Garrosh could have gone and gotten married and gone off on a honeymoon together, because I felt the same way about both of them. Both of those characters just made me angry whenever I heard about either of them. And they went a different route with Varian than they did with Garrosh.
Slightly.
And so by the time Varian died, I was, like, legitimately bummed about it. I was really upset. And I was like, man, I liked Varian a lot. And I would say, like, he got super redeemed in my eyes, and he became an Alliance character that I very much cared about. And that was a big achievement, because he had a lot further to go than any other Alliance character. Like, if they wanted me to like Greymane, that wouldn't be that hard, because I already kind of like Greymane okay. Like, he's a wolf man, he's got an English accent, he's all right. But it's not that far of a road. Varian was a long road, and considering where I ended on Varian, that was impressive. It's still not enough to prevent me from, on Take Your Kid to Work Day, showing a picture of Anduin kneeling over his ashes. But, I'll have a little fun with it, but I still like him.
Yeah. Well, and the funny thing, too, is that, I mean, at least from the Horde perspective, Varian was so one note, where, you had Jaina as his counter. And, of course, that's kind of flip-flopped, kind of, to the point where, Jaina's all death to the Horde, and, hopefully Anduin is kind of, the reasonable person in that, whole dynamic. But just... I mean, John's right. As a Horde player, all of a sudden, having Varian show up, it's like, oh god, he's not even going to listen. He just wants to kill the Horde and everything like that. Seeing the growth that he's gone through has been great too, because, like John said, he's turned into a character that I've really enjoyed. And yeah, it's a bummer that he's dead, but I can understand why he had to die. But it was in such a great, cool, dramatic manner that I don't know how this is actually going to affect Anduin, which is something that I'm really interested in. To see what his father did, how he died, and trying to kind of live up to that is something that I think is a really cool arc that Anduin can go through, especially when he's kind of devoted his life to being more priestly and towards the light and everything, and now he has to basically lead the alliance in a war.
Cuddles,
And not just
you used to be an alliance
Yes.
guy.
I still am.
Why does the alliance not like Anduin?
What? We like Anduin. He's not. He's like hanging out with the light, and he's got his little light stuff, and like literally, what we were just talking about. Like his father dies in an epic battle, like squeezing the last breath of his air, defying the Horde, or defying the Legion rather. I just assumed that we're defying the Horde constantly. But defying the Legion, and Anduin's like, I'm gonna I got some priest stuff over here. Gotta, I like the lights.
got my priest action figures. Gonna play with them.
Because I have a theory that people on the Horde like Anduin way more than people on the Alliance.
Well, he gave Bane a hammer, so of course we like him.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm totally into the idea of what Anduin's gonna become and how it exactly like. I'm gonna echo you exactly. Like I want to see where this goes with him.
Okay.
I think he could be the next great king. I think he could be amazing, but it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be fraught with peril, and it won't be an easy path. I actually, until the evil Sylvanas turned her back on the Alliance, I really felt for Vol'jin. I was starting to like Vol'jin. I don't know why Sylvanas turned her back on us.
I do, to save the Horde.
Yeah.
Ben's trying to stay away from this so bad.
No, that's not it. But I do have a question for you. So,
Yes.
You are an Alliance player who's, now a Horde. But so here's the thing. We're talking about Anduin, and you say that, you're also excited to see this journey that is going to go on. Like, which way do you think it's going to go? I mean, you've spent probably a ton more time with him than we have, even though I know he hasn't been in the game a ton. But just, your experience, what you've seen, and, with how things are feeling now.
I mean, I would have to say, I don't want to go utter cliche with it, but I feel like we're going to get an utter cliche story with Anduin. Anduin's going to struggle with things and then form some alliances and come out and actually end up as a wonderful king. I think he will end up honoring his father's memory, and we're going to have some, great, sweeping, awesome, cutscenes that are going to remind us of Varian, and then, the cutscene, or this wasn't a cutscene, in the movie, where can we spoil the movie?
Yeah.
At this point, yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
It's been a year, right?
At the end of the movie, when they have one of those final shots where you see the baby, and I think we're gonna see something akin to that, but no baby, or maybe a baby.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I don't know.
I've got it. You guys ready? I'm gonna write Anduin's story right here.
Do it.
Are you ready for some hot Anduin lore?
I want to say something, but I don't want to take the chance of ruining a joke, so I'm not going to say it.
Thank you, Ben. You're growing. Oh, this is great. This is the best day ever.
And if you never say it, then I'm going to tell my joke later.
Okay, good. Okay, so here's the story. We get up. We're fighting the Legion. We're fighting Sargeras. It's rough. Everybody's losing. We're all having a really hard time of things. It's bad. And then Anduin steps up, and he's fighting in our place. And he's doing good, but he's not great. But then he sees a vision of his father, and it encourages him, and he overpowers friggin' Sargeras, and he saves the day, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, Anduin's so good. But then we bring Varian back with the power of the Dragon Balls. And Anduin becomes kind of a scholar, and is never heard from again.
That was not what I thought you were going to say, but bravo.
I'm just saying he's the Gohan of World of Warcraft. That's all I'm saying.
So here's what I thought you were going to say, John. So, we're all fighting Sargeras, and Anduin steps up, and he's holding his own, and he's doing a great job. Then all of a sudden a small portal appears, and he gets sucked in, and it closes. And then you hear someone say, "Welcome, Anduin. Let me tell you about the Heroes of the Storm shop."
Was that your Uther impression?
I don't know. I wasn't prepared for it, so I just kind of jumped in. But I thought that's where you're going with that. So thank you for surprising me.
Yeah.
What about the possibility that he simply abdicates the throne and moves to one of the suburbs in Stormwind and opens up a sausage shop and calls it Andui Ren's?
You know what? I would frequent that establishment.
Now, is this
Yeah.
before or after he brings his dad back with the Dragon Balls?
Yes.
That's the only part that I'm unsure about.
Well, that's what it's actually a sausage. It's this very disastrous sausage accident that then leads to the Dragon Balls being triggered and his father coming back.
Okay.
Oh.
Good.
Interesting way of doing it.
Yep.
I like that.
There's going to
Sausage
be a
accidents.
time where people are like, I don't like Azeroth Roundtable. They just relate everything to Dragon Ball Z or Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, you know what? It wouldn't be the first time.
No, it won't be the last.
Yeah, definitely not.
I'm just saying parallels can be drawn between Dragon Ball Z and World of
Everything.
Warcraft. And it's fine. I think that the more parallels we draw, it happens to make for a stronger product.
Well, can we instead use the Dragon Balls to bring back Vol'jin?
No.
Okay.
That's clearly implausible.
That's just no. Okay, so going back to this though, think about this. What if Anduin does abdicate the throne and gives it to Greymane? Can you imagine the shenanigans that would happen at that point?
Ooh.
There'd be a lot more fleas.
Yes.
Would he?
Yes, there
Would he
would.
have someone like there to like scratch him behind the ear when he does a good job?
They'd have to join with the Hosen, and then they could just kind of pick them off him. It'd
Oh,
be
that'd
like,
work.
this is my throne Hosen.
You're frozen?
It just sits behind me and cleans. That's how I
know, I mean-
picture it all going down.
I mean, think about that. That happens, then all of a sudden the animosity towards the Horde is like, upgraded 1,000-fold, and then all of a sudden it's like, who cares about the Legion? We're just going to kill the Horde at this point. Then, hey, look, there's our manufactured reason to fight again.
I don't know. Greymane might be fine. I think Anduin's gonna stay there. He's gonna be up there again, unless he brings his dad back, and then he'll disappear into obscurity. He'll have his moments though. He'll occasionally
Yeah,
show
except
up.
he'll be wearing a tracksuit.
Well, yeah.
Oh god, I just love chat room. Did John just rip off DBZ?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're
He's a
way
little
behind what's actually. They're way behind where we are, but that's fine. And I'm glad they're finally hearing the Dragon Ball Z story.
Sorry, chat room.
Yeah, everything's related to Dragon Ball Z. That's just the way it works now.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft is Dragon Ball Z, didn't you know?
Yeah, well,
Makes sense.
Chris Metzen did have a lot of different influences when he wrote the story.
Yeah.
God, I really hope that there's a
Don't-
Dragon Ball Z quest in the next expansion now.
No, I'm picturing Metzen in like tidy whities sitting Indian style with like papers strewn about him and just like just focus faced on Dragon Ball Z, like just binging it and writing story at the same time. Goku, and he scratched out Goku and writes Garrosh.
With a question mark next to it. Garrosh?
Is this even his final form?
Man, okay, hold on. Let me ask you guys. Should we be able to... How cool would it be? I guess some classes can do this. This is a dumb question.
Ask it anyway.
I want to be able to transform in the game.
Okay, druids,
Like-
the end.
Like half of the demon hunters.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good point. I should go play a demon hunter, is what I'm hearing. Their transformation doesn't last long enough, though. Like, I actually
Well, that's
wish
just
the
because it's a new
transformation.
transformation.
Yeah,
They're not used to it yet.
You have obviously not seen my first attempt at raiding in Legion, which is a 2.5-minute YouTube video of me as a Murloc Demon Hunter just running around while my team dies. That was perfectly long enough.
So you played as Krillin. Got it.
Yeah, it was glorious.
Oh, jeez. No, I mean, so John, if you really want to go down this road, I mean, if you think about it, there are they're all just basically just tiny little cooldowns. Like, fire mages have combustion, so they're just on fire all the time. Paladins get Avenging Wrath or something like that, and they get wings. Holy priests die and they turn into angels or spirit healers.
So pandas can tuck and roll, which is pretty amazing for a bear that size.
Oh, they have multiform though. They can split into 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I can become like 3 extra kind of transparent glowy bears.
Glowy bears. Fighting here and there and everywhere. And John's quiet because he's dealing with stream stuff.
No, I just stopped the stream. Sorry, everybody. They heard it. Sorry, everybody. You can't see this. Ha.
Now we can talk about them.
Let's tell all their secrets. But yeah, I guess there are a lot that can transform. I don't know. I just think that sort of stuff's cool. Yeah.
Nor the massive multitude of toys that we have that you could use to transform into all sorts of things.
I don't want to talk about the toys.
Yeah, they only last for 20 seconds.
Yeah, 20 seconds with a 7.5-hour cooldown.
Seems reasonable.
Oh, totally. Although I do have to admit that I did just buy a new toy from the Mage Order Hall. You can get a little disc for your pet to fly on. So I'm like, oh yay! I have a disc for my pet to follow me on my disc. But everybody can use it now. So now my really cool tiger pet can follow me as I'm flying through the air on my monk. It's great.
Oh, that's glorious.
Yeah, I get happy about little things.
Yeah. Well, guys, I hate to say that this is going to be a short episode, but considering I'm getting messages from Skype saying, hey, good news, Ben's come online.
Oh,
I don't
we should probably
have
go.
faith that this is going to last for much longer. And I'm going to say, Cuddles, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me on. It was an absolute pleasure. And I'm always here. It's always so much fun. Just I don't even need to talk. I just want to come and watch the two of you interact and just be here. I guess I could probably do that on Twitch. That's exactly what Twitch is.
There's that, but at least this way when you're yelling at the screen, you're actually, we can hear you.
Exactly. It's beautiful.
It's important. Important stuff. So where can people find you?
Well, you can find me 5 days a week on twitch.tv/thegamecase, streaming video games, or you can find me on Twitter @thegamecase.
All right. John, what about you? Where can people find you?
Hello. If you want to hear more from me, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm @John_Jagger, or you can hear me talk about Heroes of the Storm on Core. Weird, nothing happened that time.
Yeah, you started sounding a little robot-y, so I was looking at something. So, sorry, say it again.
You hear me talk about Heroes of the Storm on Core.
Core!
Which is the Heroes of the Storm show I do, part of the Frog Pants Network. You can find out more about that at heroesforyou.com. Ben, where can people find you?
Best place to find me is on Twitter. I'm @BenTheMage. I also do a show with Eludra called Battle Pets, where we talk about battle pets in the World of Warcraft. This show, however, Azeroth Roundtable, you can find us on Twitter. We are @AzerothRT. All of our episodes are found on AzerothRoundtable.com, on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Alpha Geek Radio, and all that fun stuff wherever podcasts are found. And if you have any questions, comments, want to complain about Dragon Ball Z, or tell us how awesome we are because we like Dragon Ball Z, send an email to AzerothRoundtable@gmail.com. John, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yes, I want to thank our patrons and also apologize for how abrupt we're ending this, but we're genuinely afraid we're going to lose internet and the show's going to die at the end. But we still have time to thank our newest patrons, Ken P. and Robert H. Thank you so much. And a bonus shout out to the Murloc Club, who really gives us a big boost every month. Thank you all so much for your contribution. That is Haster, Simon, and Aaron, who I encouraged to change whatever he wanted his name to because I would read it. So I will read it as he wrote it. Aaron is listening to Audible on a Casper mattress eating Hello Fresh. Thank you for being a part of the Murloc Club.
All right, and with that, Cuddles, again, thank you very much for joining us. It has been a pleasure. John, I guess I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Guess we should call our ISP.
Yeah, no kidding. And that's where it's ending.